Welcome back to Cityscape. In today's episode of Secret People, we will cover Jim Rohn, an American entrepreneur and self-development coach. Jim Rohn is arguably the greatest speaker America has ever known. His voice has changed literally the lives of millions, including that of Tony Robbins, who Jim Rohn has personally mentored for several years. Jim Rohn also worked during a time where the self-help industry was not as commercialized, so his work is far more genuine and infused with wisdom, which is why he earned a place in the Secret People series. In a time where the public is losing faith in American culture, it is perhaps wise to revisit Jim Rohn's message. As always, let's start with a brief background. Jim Rohn was born on September 17, 1930 in Yakima, Washington. His birth name is Emanuel James Rohn, but he mostly went by the name of Jim, both personally and professionally. Jim grew up on his family's farm in Idaho and was raised as an only child. He went to college for a year, but then dropped out and worked for Sears as a human resource manager. From there, he lived a typical American life. He worked, married, and got into debt. By 25, Jim Rohn was a complete failure, being harassed by debt collectors left and right. Here is his own description of this period.
Just before I met Mr. Schoaf, I heard a knock at the door. I go to the door, and there's a little girl standing there about this tall selling Girl Scout cookies. And she gave me one of the finest sales presentations I've ever heard. Special deal, several flavors, this whole package of stuff, $2. And with a big smile, she very politely asked me to buy. And I wanted to. Big problem. I'm broke. I don't have $2. And to this day, I can remember the pain and the embarrassment. I'm a father, I'm a husband, I've been to college, I'm working, I'm 25, I don't have $2. And I didn't want to tell her that for some reason. So I did what I thought was next best. I lied to her. I said, hey, look, I've already bought lots of Girl Scout cookies. I've still got plenty stacked in the house, which was not true. But it seemed to get me off the hook for the moment. She said, well, gosh, that's wonderful. Thank you very much. And she went away. When she left, I closed the door, and that was the day I said to myself, I don't want to live like this anymore.
Desperately seeking a way out, Jim attended a lecture given by John Earl Schoaf, founder of NutriBio Corporation. He was so inspired by the presentation that he asked Schoaf for a job. The request was accepted, and Schoaf took Jim as not only an employee, but also his mentee. He taught Jim Rohn the philosophies and methods that led to his success. Schoaf was by then a multi-millionaire. His company was making $6 million a month. Unfortunately, John Earl Schoaf would die 8 years after meeting Jim Rohn. The secrets that led to his massive success, however, did not die with him. Jim Rohn would spend the rest of his life preaching what he learned from Schoaf and make a fortune while doing it. Now let's take a look at these lessons. The first thing Jim Rohn teaches us is that we don't get paid for time. We get paid for value. Now, it takes time to bring value to the marketplace, but it is not the time we get paid for. For example, if someone produces $100 worth of value in 24 hours, but another produces $10,000 worth of value in the same period, there is no social injustice taking place here. The market is simply rewarding each man for the value they have brought into the marketplace. The question then is, how do we bring more value to the marketplace? We become capable of producing more value by enhancing our human capital, i.e., learning new skills, making ourselves more agreeable, building relationships, etc. In other words, We are capable of producing more value by improving ourselves.
First lesson of economics. We primarily get paid for value. That's lesson one. Bringing value to the marketplace, that's how you get paid. You don't get paid for the time. I know it takes time to bring value to the marketplace, but you get paid for the value, not the time. Now, since that's true, here's one of the key questions of the evening. Is it possible to become twice as valuable at the marketplace and make twice as much money in the same time? Could you become 3 times as valuable? Make 3 times as much money in the same time? Is that possible? The answer is yes, if. And it's always if, right? Life is known as the big if. Harry Truman once said, life is iffy. How true. And here's the big if we're going to consider it tonight. It's possible to do much better at the marketplace if you go to work primarily on yourself. And that's the theme of our seminar tonight. Learning to work primarily on yourself. People have asked me for the last 24 years, how do you develop an above-average income? And the answer is, become an above-average person.
If you will change, everything will change for you.
Things will start to change.
If you will change, everything will change for you.
When life isn't going the way we want, we often look for a culprit. We blame society, the government, our boss or coworkers, some demonized collective, etc. Another tendency is for us to do more of what doesn't work. We work longer hours. We work harder at our job. We attend more school, etc. Jim Rohn gives us the simple but profound statement that if your life isn't going the way you want, change yourself. Don't try to change society or do more of the same thing. Change yourself. If you will change, everything will change for you.
I used to blame the government. I mean, you can believe that or not. It was at the top of my list. I had a lecture second to none. The government. That was on my list. I used to blame taxes. Look what you got left after they take everything. And they expect you to do well. That was on my list there. Prices, that one's easy, right? You walk into the supermarket with $20, come out with a little half bag. So I had that on my list. I used to blame the weather. I blamed the traffic. I used to blame my car. I blamed the manufacturers. I used to blame the company. I blamed company policy. I used to blame the training program. I blame my negative relatives. They were always putting me down. I blame my cynical neighbors. They're just selfish, looking out for themselves. Won't loan you money? They were on my list. I used to blame the economy. I blamed the community. That's a pretty good list for not doing well, isn't it? I thought it was good.
If you help enough people get what they want, you can have everything you want. Everything. Help enough people get what they want, you can have everything you want. Everything.
This statement resonates with me the most. It represents what the free market stands for at its finest. Contrary to popular opinion, one has to give much in order to get rich. You have to give people more in use value than you take from them in cash value. That's the only way people will purchase your product. They must feel that what they are getting from your product is worth more than the cash they are losing. So in a proper business transaction, both parties leave happy. The buyer gains a product he wants more than the money in his wallet, and the seller gains money he can use to buy other things. This beautiful market transaction is perfectly summarized in a statement: help enough people get what they want, and you can have everything you want. Anyone who's ambitious that's watching this video should always remember this statement. Don't focus on getting. Focus on giving value to the marketplace. Jim Rohn has several books and audios available for sale throughout the web. I have included what I believe to be his best seminar in this video. Link is in the description.
And now I'd like to leave you with these 4 questions, called questions to ponder. These questions were valuable for me, and I want to make them valuable for you. Here's the first one: why? We all ask why we should work this hard, why take that many classes, why go to school that many years, why take the notes, why read the books, why work that hard, why put yourself through the push-ups and the disciplines. Why? Good question, why? Best answer to why, I think, is the second question. Why not? Why not see how many books you can read, how many classes you can take, how many skills you can develop? Why not see how valuable you can become to the marketplace and to your friends and to your family? Why not see what you can make of yourself? Why not see how far you can go, how much you can see, how much you can earn, how much you can share? Why not? That's the heritage all of us have, in America especially, is to see what we can make out of our lives now that we've been given this extraordinary opportunity. Now, my third question I'd love to ask you in person. But since I can't do it in person, I want to ask it of all of you. But I want you to take it personally. And my third question is, why not you? Why not you? With good self-esteem. Why not you starting to change and setting goals? Why not you starting to make progress toward financial independence? If I can do it, you can do it. I wished I had a lot more testimonials here today besides mine. A whole steady stream that would come by and tell you their story. Someone who started with nothing, finally run a big enterprise. A mother who was on welfare, now she owns her own business. In addition to my story, I wish I had a lot more. And if all of them told their story, guess how they would probably wind up their story? They'd probably say, just like me, why not you? If we can read, you can read. If we can change, you can change. If we can figure it out, you can figure it out. If we can turn it around, you can turn it around. There isn't anything you can't accomplish. That's what those testimonials would say. And so I want to say it to you personally. Why not you? You've got the brains, you've got the stamina, you've got the vitality, you've got the interest, you've got your life ahead of you, you've got the future. You can do it. If anybody can do it, you can do it. If one of us can do it, hey, we all can do it. And now here's my last question. Why not now? This is a good time. As the 20th century starts to wind down, a few more years as we get ready for century 21, what a good time to set your goals, work on yourself, work on your skills. What a good time to get it together. What a good time to start this process. Personal development, growing, changing, developing, having a good plan for your money and for your life and for your future. Why not now? And I hope I have a chance to see you one of these days and share with you the experience, the reaction, the response you might have had from my message today. And until I get a chance to see you on this side of the world or the other side of the world, in some school or some seminar, or maybe I'll come and speak for a company that you work for someday, I hope I get a chance to meet you. Until then, I wish you the best. I want all that I've gotten to be yours and much, much more. God bless. Goodbye.
Jim Rohn represents the American dream. A dream that is still achievable, by the way, even in today's distorted economy. Jim grew up poor on a farm, didn't finish college, got himself buried in debt, but yet, he still turned himself into a multi-millionaire and inspired millions of people, including myself. My digital encounter with Jim Rohn is what pushed me to change myself into a better person during a time of my life where everything was going wrong. I took his message to heart. If you will change, everything will change for you. This statement turned out to be true. Even though he did not wear a military uniform, Jim Rohn is an American hero and patriot. Why? Because America is a country where the poor, no matter how low, can make themselves better and rise the social ladder. It's truly unfortunate that the self-help community has become so fake and corrupt. I guess everything has a lifespan. However, those of you who want a good dose of sober reality, good direction, and beautiful inspiration should most certainly check out Jim Rohn. See you next time.